we see that the Watchtower, in its lessons for children, is teaching children that a man with a man, a woman with a woman, is not natural. Let's see.
Look, Mom. I drew a family in school today. Oh, wow. I didn't have time to finish Caleb's face. Carrie drew two mommies. She told me they're married to each other. My teacher says that all that matters is that people love each other and that they're happy.
Well, people have their own ideas about what is right and wrong.
So here we are. She has a picture. She shows her mummy and tells her mummy that one of her friends has two mummies, and her as a Jehovah's Witness in this cartoon, lessons for children about mummies and daddies, to show her that's the people's view of the LGBT community, that it's not normal to the Watchtower and the teaching family, and that view for them they're against.
But what matters is how Jehovah feels. He wants us to be happy.
So it comes down to what Jehovah wants, what Jehovah says. And when it comes down to what Jehovah says, it comes down to what the Watchtower says regarding the LGBT community, teaching children that when God created Adam and Eve, He created a man and a woman. So in a way it's sexist towards gay people and lesbian people. And if children want to grow up into an environment where they want to make decisions over their own sexuality, this teaching is not helpful to young children, and in a way makes Jehovah the Watchtower law and control over these poor children.
He knows how we can be happiest. That's why he invented marriage the way he did.
You mean one man and one woman?
Exactly. Look at Genesis 1:27.
One man and one woman. The sexist Watchtower wants just a one man and one woman to marry. He doesn't want a man or a woman to be married. He doesn't want his children to be gay. He doesn't want the women to be lesbians in any way at all, to have those fears, those feelings at all. It's just teaching Jehovah, and this is what Jehovah says, and that is basically it. And it's not free, and it's not in a civilized world that we live in, and it's discrimination against the LGBT community, even for young children.
Jehovah created Adam and Eve, male and female. Then in Genesis 2:24 he said that a man will stick to his wife. Later Jesus said the same thing. Jehovah's standards haven't changed. Male and
So here they're talking about Jehovah's standards. In the New Testament it talks about love and being peaceable. This is not talking about love and being peaceable, it's forcing people that they should marry a man and a woman, not a man and a man or a woman and a woman. These are Jehovah's standards. That is a load of baloney. It's talking about the Watchtower. The Watchtower having control over people's thinking, saying that basically God's standards were in the New Testament. Although I don't want to get into religion and try to preach, because I'm not going to get into that one. But in New Testament it was love. Love for Jesus. Jesus loved the prostitutes. Jesus loved everybody that around him. It was the scribes and the Pharisees that didn't like the prostitute. And because they showed love, that was the most important thing. Here we see it's the Watchtower can be like the scribes and the Pharisees under law, saying Jehovah is his standards. Jehovah in the New Testament does not have standards, because there is not a such thing as Jehovah in the New Testament. New Testament is relating to Jesus. The Old Testament is relating to Jehovah. So this is a controlling mechanism for children to think that LGBT is wrong, and that they would basically have to give this up to join this religion. And we've seen many suicides of people who are LGBT and have committed suicide because they cannot be accepted by the Watchtower, and the lies that they won't gain everlasting life because of the self-righteous Watchtower and its doctrine and what it's teaching children.
Female. Then in Genesis 2:24 he said that a man will stick to his wife. Later, Jesus said the same thing. Jehovah's standards haven't changed. It's kind of like going on an airplane. What would happen if someone wanted to bring something on the plane that wasn't allowed? Being on a trip. Right. It's the same with Jehovah. He wants us to be his friend and live in paradise forever. But we have to follow his standards to get there.
We have to follow Jehovah's standards to get to paradise. Because we're gay, we'd have to give up being gay, discriminating against the LGBT community again. No wonder why people that come out of the Jehovah's Witnesses that have those feelings, which is nothing wrong with it, it is a natural thing. People have the right to choose. Children have the right to choose what they want to be, what sex partners they want to have, what partners they want to marry, because that's the society that we live in. To use Jesus in this issue, Jesus would be loving. He wouldn't be pouring down his law and his standards to people. But this is what the Watchtower does to children, putting pressure on them to make them think that they will not get everlasting life, and that these people have to change their sexuality just so that they could be accepted by the Watchtower to have everlasting life. When the Watchtower lies about most things and is discriminate, and there break up in marriages because people want to be with the opposite sex, which is their choice, freedom to be happy and live how people want to live, but the Watchtower wants to completely emotionally blackmail people in what they believe and what they think. And in a way, this is saying to a gay person or a woman with a woman that if you study with a Watchtower, you have to give it up. Again, it's controlling emotional blackmail, but also teaching children not to be able to think for themselves and to decide what their sexuality that they want, and scaring them into making their God in the Old Testament, Jehovah, a God of fear and a God that will come down upon them, that they won't receive everlasting life. And in a way it's disgusting to say, and the way this film goes, that you have to change to be part of this cult, the Watchtower. It saddens my heart.
Matthew 7:13 and 14, it talks about the road leading to paradise. To get there, Jehovah says we have to leave some things behind. That means anything Jehovah doesn't approve of.
But I want everyone to get to paradise.
So does Jehovah. And you know what? People can change. That's why we share his message. So, what can you say to Carrie?
Well, I could tell her about the paradise.
The mother says to the woman, to the daughter says that she wants her friend to have everlasting life and to be in a paradise. But the mother is deciding for the daughter's friend that if she doesn't change her sexuality, then she cannot have everlasting life. The witness is becoming self-righteous. They themselves are hypocrites, even in their own lives, but they judge and want to change other people when other people want to live the way that they want, teaching their children that this is wrong. The Watchtower itself should be fined and prosecuted over this teaching that it teaches children.
I could tell her about the animals and the resurrection.
That's awesome!